Well, I'm looking over this way because I'm logged into this machine, but I'm displaying over here. So I'll stop that once we get going. I'll close this or something. You won't have to see me looking off into space. And then I'm looking over at this other machine that I'm using as my backup. So hello, everyone, meaning all 5 of you. Jasmine, Naisha. Now, I know I'm saying it wrong. You're going to correct me.
Nija.
Nija. Anaya.
Hello.
Who's down there? Chaprel.
Hello.
And Amari in the middle. Well, I'm glad you all are here without too many login issues. Or how about that? Anybody want to share your horror stories over the past few days? Any login issues? I mean, besides the obvious that we were all locked out. If you see me fooling with the machine, that's because this is my old machine that has the weird thing happening on the monitor. That's why I use this as my monitor. I wish I could record what it does. So today's class will consist of mostly just checking in with each other and letting you know what's going to come down over the next week to try to get us back on track. It won't take that much. So if you read your letter from the provost and whoever else it was from, You know that there have been some modifications to the schedule to make up for lost time. But that's an accountability thing that maybe you don't really understand. They can't just say, oh, well, forget those days. It was, an act of God or whatever. They have to account for those days, and through what's called contact hours. So you register for a class and you're expected to meet with an instructor for somewhere around 1,400 hours or something like that, one way or the other, whether it's 3-day, a two-day, or online or whatever. So that's what all that is about. So for us, it's not a big problem. We actually had a meeting day on Tuesday. And last Thursday is the really only day that I can't account for, because here we are today. And even though there may be some people who aren't here, I'm not going to move forward with any great new information. So, but we are meeting. And then the Thursday before midterms have moved 2 weeks down. The Thursday before midterms now, the 22nd and 23rd, is the day that was supposed to be a spring break day. So I'm going to do my midterm review on that Tuesday and follow up on that Thursday. That would have been the spring break day. So I'm not really, I'm keeping to the schedule as much as possible with those exceptions, moving things around a little bit. If you have any kind of continued login issues, if you're here, if you're not, then, well, I can't talk to you, but be sure to contact the IT help desk. I don't want to say they're slow, because that sounds like criticism. They're overwhelmed for obvious reasons, but they did get back to me, and they will fix your issue if you have, login issues. So what are we up to? What I'm going to share with you today is the new look to our page. That's and it's a work in progress, and I'll share with you where we stand as far as there's me again. I just logged in again. Who showed up? Just me. As far as staying on track. So without further ado, here we go. If I can find the screen. So I'll just this one. You don't need to see me. And then you do. Okay, so what I've done, let me know if you can't hear me or if something's unclear. I've made our modules page our go-to page, our front page. So that'll be the first thing that pops up when you look at our course page. And I'm going to, from here on out, I'll put whatever is current will be right at the top. And then, so these two sections here are current. And then I'll begin pushing things down in reverse chronological order. So it'll go back to, the beginning. as you progress down. So right now we're really in the tail end, the second end of our grammar discussion. Okay, so we're returning back. That's redundant, Mr. Schmidt. You're an English teacher. Don't say returning back. I'm sorry. We're returning to subject-verb agreement, fragments, and run-ons. So we got through our subject-verb agreement discussion via. That sounds so pretentious, huh? Through our quiz and our practice quiz and our real quiz. We were supposed to have we had a practice quiz on the fragments and the run-ons. We were set to get a real quiz after we discussed that practice quiz last Thursday, but that didn't happen. So now we're in a different place and we're going to have a real quiz on all 4 of the subjects: subject, verb, fragments, run-ons, and verb forms. And that will be this right here. I hope you can see it highlighted. Grammar quiz coming next week. Notice it's due 6 p.m. It's not 11 p.m. That's so I can have time to at least kind of look at it before we meet again on Thursday of next week. Wait, when's Valentine's? Valentine's is coming like soon. Monday? No, Sunday? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Early. So that's our grammar section, and that quiz will end our grammar section, our grammar module. And it's been brief and it got cut off a little bit, but we're going to continue with it. So here's my proposed plan. After today, I'm not going to cover anything in depth today as a real-time thing. I'm going to post a video and I'll publish an announcement for that video. But between today and tomorrow, I'm going to make a video that walks us through subject-verb agreement, a reminder about run-ons and fragments. Then I'll look at, where is it? Oh, this quiz. I'll look at it and walk us through it on this video, walk you through each question and remind you of the rules and all that apply, so that you can use that as a study opportunity for the real quiz. And then today I'm going to introduce you to verb forms. I'm not going to go into great depth on them, but they'll be there. And in my video, I'll talk a little bit more about them. The verb forms section is fairly easy if you remember a few things. And then you'll take that quiz next Wednesday. That was originally scheduled to be due, Monday, but since we're off track, I pushed it off a little bit. So that'll end the grammar section. And then we're on to essay writing, okay? And I've gotten rid of the opportunity for you to submit early, as of the 9th, because the 9th is gone now. But instead, what we're going to do is you're going to choose one of these articles right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This tech one is the same as the mental health one. You're going to choose one of those, however you want to choose it, randomly, or you can look at them all and decide, whatever. But you read one and then you submit a very short, about 100 words, a paragraph basically, summary of that article. So in 4 or 5 sentences, you'll restate whatever article you chose has to say about technology in our modern world. That'll be due next Thursday. So that'll be really short. And that'll, in theory, that'll help prepare you to write your response, because now I'm forcing you to practice that engagement stuff we talked about when annotating a text or whatever. So next week, we'll pull up the guidelines. We'll look at some the PowerPoint stuff. We'll talk about essay structure, all that. I don't want to really get into too much depth with essay structure because I kind of want to see what you come at, where you come from and how you approach it based upon your previous experiences in Comp 1 or wherever. But I will give you some basic background information next week. So those are our 2 assignments that are due now, our grammar quiz and on to essay 1, beginning with the summary of whichever article you choose. Remember, the essay itself is a response to that article. So you're going to pull it apart, say what you feel about it, offer your own examples. So I'm going to come back to that before we end the technology business. So let's look at the verb forms real quick. Now, I don't see it on here. There's a link that I need to provide for you to a different website. Here's a slide presentation. It's not mine, obviously, but if you want to review sentence fragments and get to some examples. I'm just showing it to you. It's linked there if you want to look at it. It's the slideshow right here. There's a web, if I can, maybe it'll come up. Grossmont, there it is. I'll link this for you all. But this is just a sample page of all of Grossmont College. I don't know Grossmont College, but whatever it is. And their explanation and information on verb issues. We already did subject verb issues, and this is how they talk about common problems. We're down here talking about verb forms. So subject verb agreement is in present tense, and it has to do with that S or ES. Verb forms has to do with past tense and other tenses, the past participle that makes other tenses happen. So what does all that mean? If you ever remember like being in school and then you would have to rattle off the verbs like, jump, jumped, jumped. So I jumped, yesterday I jumped, and I have jumped a lot. Jump is a regular verb. Regular means I'm a weak one. I follow the rules. I'm a sheep. I don't do anything on my own. I'm making a Trump supporter comparison here. Strong verb are irregular. They say, the hell with the rules. I'll do whatever I want. So regular verbs get a D or an ED on their verb form in past tense or in other tenses, the past participle, the third column. So sing, sang, sung, ring, rang, rung, buy, bought, bought. That third word, that third column. So this webpage gives you a series of sort of common ones to look at. No such thing as shooken. No such thing as costed. This is a common one, like little kids might say, cut it. I cut it my finger. There's no such word. Hurt? That's another little kid thing. I hurt it myself, right? You've heard little kids maybe talk that way. Well, that's because the little kid's right. They're following the rule, the D or ED rule, right? But it doesn't apply to irregular verbs because they follow their own rule. And you look at something like swell. Well, swell says I'll follow the rule a little bit, but then when I get to that third column, the past perfect tense, I want to do my own thing, swollen. So that's what this verb form section is all about. So what you need to, I mean, it's up to you how you want to study it, but you can study it by using this had. If you put had in front of any of those third columns, that's the word you're supposed to come up with. So a prime example is go. So I go to the store every day. Yesterday, a simple past, directly yesterday, just one time, I went to the store. If I'm talking about a time I went to the store before something else happened, I use that had in front of it, and then you get gone. So any form of to have in front of the verb. So have, has, or had. I have gone, she has gone, or I had gone. So that's what it happens for every one of these. Not that you care, but if you want to, if you say, oh, he hung himself, that means he took himself and he put himself on a line and put him outside to dry. If you're talking about somebody getting hanged, it's this word. I'm not going to go into depth on that. I have heard people say mistaken, so be aware of that. I've heard people say, where is it on here? It's not on here. It's on my list. Tooken, T-O-O-K-E-N, for taken. So go and see. Where's C? C's not on here. C's on my list. So we'll go back to my list, which is right here. That's the only list you really need to worry about. The other one's just for reference. This is the one I'm pulling from. So these words are samples. There are three, I don't have columns here, but there are three words in the columns. Break, broke, broken. Cost, cost, cost. And there's my go, went, and gone, and going. This last one is just the ing form. It's the present participle, which means it comments on things that are in progress of happening. I am breaking into this house. I am finding lots of evidence, or I was finding lots of evidence. There's our take. And then see and go are two. See and go, remember those, because a lot of people will say I had went when they really mean I had gone. Same, well, not the exact same thing, but a lot of times you'll hear people say seen when they mean saw. They'll say, he's seen me trying to steal those potato chips, when they mean he saw me try to steal those potato chips. This column here, all tenses relate to time, right? To when something happened. So this column, the last column, the third column of words, is when something happens before another time or by the time of something. So I had taken a bottle of pills when the ambulance showed up. The ambulance showed up, past tense. But before that, I had taken. Just as a side note, if you watch the video, you probably didn't, but if you watch the video on the African American vernacular English, they comment on this use of the what's it called? The past perfect tense, had something, had verb, being common in African American vernacular as a simple past. So you might hear somebody said, I had went. We don't mind what they say. We're just talking about what they write. This is a common one. And I'm going to trick you right here, a little word game. If I said to you, sing, sang, sung, get it in your head. Just practice along with me. I know you can respond if you want. So we got sing, sang, sung. And then we got ring, rang, rung. What about bring? Bring. Well, there's no brang and there's no brung. It's bring, brought, brought. So that's what verb forms are for us. Right? Now I'm over here. So that's where we are right now. So I'm going to post a video that acts as a review for you all for the exam, for the quiz exam, whatever you want to call it. It's 20 points, 20 questions. And then we're going to go on to Essay 1. Now, what are you going to do for Essay 1? You get Essay 1, Essay 2, and Essay 3 are all going to be about the ways that technology, modern technology, has changed, altered, affected, impacted, whatever language you like, our world. So one thing you can be thinking about, maybe jot some notes if you want to impress me, is how this most recent setback of ours is an example of something regarding technology and our vulnerability, one word there, vulnerability, because of our reliance on technology. See, technology is great. You know, if you use something as a tool to better your life or whatever, it's great. But then what happens when you don't have it, but you're relying on it? So that's one thing you can do. Also, another thing you can do to kind of prepare yourself for essay, essay 1, 2, and 3, but essay 1 for right now, is maybe talk to people of an older generation than yours, mostly because your generation, 17 to 25-year-olds, you were born into this world of technology. There hasn't been anything radically new in your lifetimes. You were born into all these gadgets and smart technology and all of that. So you don't really know a difference. And that's kind of, it sounds like a good thing, but it kind of can put you at a disadvantage because you don't know. You never experienced life without a phone that can tell you where to go, whatever. I was watching an old TV show, the Andy Griffith Show, the other day, and the guy was trying to find directions and like looking at a map and, okay, you go up here, take a left and do all that. Nobody relies on maps anymore, rarely at least. So anyway, that's essay 1. Now essay 2 is going to be the same thing, just on a different article. And by the time you get to essay 3, you'll have at least 2, probably 3 sources that you can pull from. So in theory, you'll only have to get another couple of sources. And I'm going to provide you with links to a bunch of sources so that you can use to talk about it, technology and the wonders of it, but also the problems with it. So I think that's it for where we're headed over the next couple of weeks and beyond. After we get past essay 1, then we slow down. We'll be reviewing for the midterm and stuff like that. We do have another reading that we'll do in between. Something about Facebook. That's one thing you can think about, especially as people of your generation. I've noticed this. New technology takes off with young people. Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. And if you go back all the way to MySpace, it's the coolest thing. And then old people jumped on it, and the young people left and went to Facebook. Facebook became a place for, guess what? Old people to go hang out and do their thing. And it seems that that's kind of like a trend. I've been looking at TikTok. I'm an old guy. I don't really like TikTok, but I've been looking at it, and somebody said, "Oh, no, yeah, that's right. Old people are taking over this TikTok thing." And it started off as a young person's thing. I don't know about Snapchat. I don't follow Snapchat too much, but you all think about it. You're a part of that generation. Think about how you could live comfortably without your access to whatever it is that you rely on. So, enough said about that for today. We'll talk about it more in depth later. So be prepared to bring your ideas about it. Are there things that you rely on? I mean, I'm going back a long time, but when I was a kid, there were no such thing as remote controls for like the TV, lights or whatever. That's, we just take all that for granted now. It's what's supposed to be. Can you imagine new technologies? What we need to save our lives. All right, so that's it for today. Like I said, be on the lookout for the video. That's a review for the quiz. On Tuesday, we'll begin talking about essay 1 and essay structure and all that. So anybody not clear about where we're headed?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The practice quiz on February 4th, is that one closed for good? Because I don't think I got to do that.
I can reopen it so you can practice and see how good you are.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. For the essay, like, what are like the requirements? Like do we need like a certain amount of words or pages, like, or it's just like
it's listed on the guidelines that I'll show you next week. But it's 400 words MLA. Okay. It's a short one. It's like 2 pages.
Okay.
Approximately 2 pages, 400 words, whatever that equals. Yeah. And the summary assignment's supposed to prepare you for making sure you include your reading in your discussion. So you actually will be able to maybe integrate, use one assignment inside of the other assignment, the essay assignment. You don't have to, but in theory you could.
Okay.
Any others? Don't worry too much about attendance issues for the past couple of days. Not even today. It's just a kind of a I don't know what to call it. Like you all realize we're just in a weird place. What am I supposed to be doing here? Practice quiz. Any other questions? I know we're early, but I don't really want to present a whole lot of information because we don't have a full class, and I just feel it's not fair to everyone. But I will post that video. That's the whole point of the video. Make sure everybody has access to the material that you're being quizzed on. I'm going to open that. Who asked about it? Chaparral. Somebody asked about it. I'm opening it right now. So there you go. The quiz will open probably tomorrow, just as to let you know. But if you want to wait until, because you have all the way until Wednesday, if you want to wait till Tuesday and make, to listen to me talk about any of the common errors, that'll be part of my video, but that's on you, to set aside your time to accomplish it. I don't know why I'm biting a shot on my lip. All right. Well, have a good day, everyone.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Stay warm, by the way.
You too.